Hi everyone, welcome to the Tea of the Month video. We'd like to talk to you about our experience drinking this month's tea, Elevation. Some of the reasons that Sun Moon Lake Elevation is so special to me is because I live in Taiwan and I get to go and visit the actual location of it in Sun Moon Lake. And so too, guests who come and visit us at the center can also go there. It's so beautiful. It's just an amazing environment that these plants grow in. And to go there and actually physically touch the trees, feel the trees, smell the leaves is an experience you don't get with all the teas that you drink. Not only that, but you also get to meet the farmer and establish a relationship with him and learn about the processing and the growing of these tea plants. And I also know that these plants are some of the oldest growing in all of Taiwan. So to drink a tea in a location that I get to visit, knowing they're some of the oldest plants in Taiwan, visiting the farmer and knowing I'm supporting an organic and sustainable tea farming practice makes this tea particularly special for me.
I've drunk more Sun Moon Lake Elevation than any other tea on this planet. No other tea feels as part of me and as part of my tea practice than this tea right here. For me, this tea almost feels like it's part of who I am. And I remember the first time I went to Sun Moon Lake to see the farm and the trees and meet the farmer. And although he had two different varieties of trees on the farm, I automatically knew which ones were elevation trees. They felt almost like an extension of me. They felt part of me and I felt deeply connected to those trees. So not only then do I get to feel connected to the trees, but I also get to meet the farmer whose hands have rolled this tea and sit with him in his humble home and share what he has produced and put all his love into with him and his wife. And to me, that experience just adds so many layers of depth and gratitude that I have towards this leaf and towards that man and towards this practice itself. And so for me, that's one of the reasons that I just love this tea, Elevation, so much.
Some of the reasons I feel this tea is particularly special in our tradition is that it's so perfect for bowl tea. The leaves are loose and they're large, so they open up beautifully in a bowl. And all you really need is a bowl, these types of tea leaves, and hot water, and you can immediately start a tea practice in your life. And when guests come to the center here from around the world, that's exactly what many of them want to do. So we often recommend starting with bowl tea because it's just so simple and anybody can do it. So in my experience, I love drinking this tea in a bowl, A, because the leaves are big and they're loose, and also they're full of aroma and flavor. And those were some of the qualities in teas when I first started drinking that really inspired me and motivated me to keep drinking tea. These leaves are just perfect for bowl tea, and when we're teaching guests how to start a tea practice in their life, we always suggest they start with the most basic type of bowl tea because it's just so easy. If you have a simple bowl and some loose leaves and hot water, you can start right away, and Sun Moon Lake Elevation is perfect for that. It's also a really flexible tea in that you can brew it throughout the day and throughout the entire year. So even if it's summer and it's really hot, I love making this tea early in the morning or suggesting guests to make it early in the morning to wake you up. As its name suggests, it elevates you. It also does so in a very calm and balanced way, so you don't feel jittery and you don't have a peak and a crash. It wakes you up in a calm and balanced way. So again, I love that, and it's perfect for people who are starting to drink tea to help wake them up, especially in the morning. And then in the cooler months of the year, it's an excellent tea to drink later in the day because it also wakes you up and it warms you up. And it's again very aromatic and flavorful. So it's a really beautiful tea. We love suggesting people start off their tea practice with elevation if they can. And that's one of the ways that I got started into my tea practice as well.
So this tea is amazing for bowl tea. It just works so well. And that's a great place to start when you're beginning your tea practice. It's just leaves, water, and bowl. And anyone can then have access to it, and anyone can start a tea practice. And that's how I started. And even now, as I progress more and more in my path and learn and start to develop skills in different brewing methods, I still come back to this. So that's another reason we love this tea in this tradition, is that you can keep coming back to it. And no matter how far you progress, it's always such a pillar of everything we do. And no matter what I do, whether I'm brewing side handle, boiled tea, gong fu tea, or whisk tea, I can still always come back to Sun Moon Lake, elevation, in a bowl. Another thing that's amazing about this tea is that it's a living tea. Now, I'm not going to go into any details about what a living tea is. That's all in this month's magazine. But what's beautiful about this is that it's a living tea that is accessible, it's affordable, and so it can be shared. We can give someone a bag of this tea when they come here and send them away with that so they can go home and practice and have a tea that has got so much depth and wisdom to share with them, and does make such a strong building block to any tea practice. It's a tea that so many people from all around the world in this tradition have started with and is the foundation of their practice.
For me personally, I love drinking this tea, and I'll mention one example in particular, though there are many. If I'm ever doing like a tea and a meditation retreat here around the center, and I wake up really early to start my meditation practice, I love to start with a bowl of Sun Moon Lake red tea. And because it's early in the morning, and actually I can't drink too much tea on an empty stomach because I have a really fast metabolism, I can just take like 2 or 3 leaves or even 1 and just enjoy that tea in the morning. It doesn't upset my stomach at all, and the really subtle qualities come out with just even a few leaves, especially because it's very quiet and calm in the morning. So it's just one of my favorite ways to start the day, especially if it's going to be really early and prior to meditation.
So starting with where I began, there's no tea that I've drunk more of and that is more a part of me and more a part of my practice than Sun Moon Lake elevation. Every day for 1 year, I sat with this tea before I did anything else. 3 bowls, first thing in the morning. And that 1 year completely changed my life. In some ways, you could say it's the whole reason that I'm sitting here right now, is the impact that that practice had on my life. One of the things that it taught me is the power of finding the sacred in the ordinary. The simple things in life have the ability to completely transform us. Just some simple leaves in a bowl with some water, and watch your whole life be changed. And there's not really so much I can say in words to express why or how or the depth or importance of any of those lessons. Perhaps the only thing I could do would be to encourage you to take this month's tin and take a few leaves and put it in a bowl and drink it before you do anything else. And try that for a day or a week and see what the difference is. And if you do find that there's benefit from doing it, then continue it. And in that way, I think you will find that love is changing the world bowl by bowl.